jump into this. I don't want to make this too long. Maybe you have heard about the term endocrine disruptor, and I've got my notes down here, so that's why I'm looking up and down. But do you know what that actually means? It's okay if you don't, because I actually did a little bit of research to get more of a clearer explanation of like what they are and how they work. And I'm going to share with you what I've learned. I'm excited because I think the more we know, the more we can see how important it is to make those changes, right? Okay, so we're going to talk all about endocrine disruptors in layman's terms, and how that affects hormones, and then how we can eliminate a huge portion of exposure to those chemicals by looking at our skincare products. So what is an endocrine disruptor? First, endocrine means hormone system, okay? Hormone system, so it's okay if you don't know this, but your hormones are like your thyroid, your adrenals, your ovaries, your testes, your pituitary gland. There's a lot, right? Our hormone system is complex and there's a lot of things, and it's really the foundation of how our bodies work. Disruptor means it's a person or thing that prevents something, especially a system or process, from continuing as usual or as expected. So in simple terms, an endocrine disruptor are chemicals that our bodies are exposed to that prevent our hormone system to work like it's supposed to work. Simple enough, right? So let's talk about where endocrine disruptors can be found. And listen, I don't want to overwhelm you. This may feel overwhelming, but there's good news. Okay, so endocrine disruptors can be found in plastic bottles, which are easy to swap out, metal lining in canned food, another easy thing to swap out, flame retardants, so think like children's clothing, mattresses, stuff like that, toys, cosmetics, and pesticides. So thankfully, a lot of endocrine disrupting chemicals can actually be detoxed out of our body, and which then reduces the load they have on our hormone systems. Now, there is another endocrine disrupting chemical that I want to just briefly point out, and those are called PFAs, which are endocrine disrupting chemicals, but these ones are really dangerous because they don't ever break down. They're considered forever chemicals, and literally have lasting effects on the body and the environment. So these can be found in non-stick cookware, the lining of microwave bags, and like the inside of fast food containers. So I'm not here to create fear. I think we have to live our lives not in fear, but there are also things that we can do to minimize that exposure, or to also just reduce the amount of chemicals that our bodies are exposed to, right? So the good news is a lot of those things, like I said, can be controlled by what we purchase, what we choose to purchase. We can be conscious and intentional about what we bring into our home.